The spirit of 9/12. I'm Jeff Stein with today's Iowa Politics Report. Tomorrow is the 20th anniversary of the terrorist attacks on America on September 11th, 2001. The most commonly expressed view this week is, wow, how has 20 years gone by so quickly? Every generation has its pivotal moment where people say they remember where they were when they heard the news. For some, it was the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. For others, the assassination of President Kennedy. For me, as a college student at the time, the Space Shuttle Challenger explosion comes to my mind. And a generation after that, the sight of one, then two planes crashing into the World Trade Center in New York. I was teaching at a college at the time. In my classroom, I saw the faces of 18, 19, 20-year-olds, knowing it was a big deal, a very big deal, but they were numb at the time to the impact it might have on their lives because so little of truth was known in those first few hours. I then saw one of my senior colleagues who, after a lifetime covering the news, stood in front of a television set, instinctively taking notes. His life had been changed forever on December 7th, 1941. He left college to serve in the Navy. I could only imagine the parallels he drew in his mind with every note he took. The president at that time of Pearl Harbor, President Franklin Roosevelt, called it a date that would live in infamy. So it was as well, now 20 years ago. Those fresh-faced college students then are now middle-aged and with their own children about to go to college. With enhanced uncertainty in the world on the terror front, we can only pray they don't have their own pivotal moment anytime soon. And that includes the more insidious attacks on our society, whether a global virus or erosion from within ourselves. Recall how united we were the day after the attack, the so-called 9/12 effect. Sadly, that did not take long to disappear, and we could dearly use the spirit of 9/12 again right now. I ask you to think of that this weekend as you think of those we lost 20 years ago and their families, as well as those lost in the 2 decades since and their families, as the war on terror continued. And that's the Iowa Politics Report for Friday, September 10. I'm Jeff Stein on News Talk 1540 KXEL.